Title: The Trees That Watch. There's a part of the forest people don't talk about. Not because it's protected or dangerous in any normal way, but because the ones who've been there can never quite explain what's wrong with it. They just say it feels off. The locals call it Hollow Creek Woods. It looks like any other stretch of forest at first. Tall trees, uneven ground, the quiet hum of insects somewhere in the distance. But if you walk far enough in, something changes. The sounds disappear. No wind, no birds, no movement, just you and the trees. Marcus found the woods by accident. He wasn't supposed to be there. His hike had taken a wrong turn somewhere along the trail, and by the time he noticed, his phone had already lost signal. Still, he wasn't worried. At first, he kept walking, figuring he'd loop back around eventually. But the deeper he went, the quieter it became, until the silence felt unnatural, heavy, like the forest was holding its breath. Marcus stopped. He looked around. The trees were tall, too tall maybe. Their trunks stretched straight up without branches for far longer than they should have, disappearing into a thick canopy that blocked out most of the light. Everything looked the same, every direction. That's when he noticed the markings. At first, he thought they were just scratches in the bark, random lines, maybe from animals. But as he stepped closer, he realized they weren't random at all. They were symbols, carved deep into the wood, repeating, over and over again. Marcus ran his fingers along one of them. The grooves were fresh, too fresh, as if someone had carved them recently, right in front of him. He pulled his hand back quickly. That's when he heard it, a sound, soft, behind him, like something shifting its weight. He turned. Nothing. Just trees. Endless rows of them, standing perfectly still. Marcus let out a breath and shook his head. His imagination was getting to him. He turned back to the tree. The symbol was gone. The bark was smooth,
truncated
untouched.
Description.
He stared at it, confused. He knew what he saw. He was sure of it. Slowly, he stepped back. And that's when he noticed something else. The trees weren't the same anymore. They had moved, not in any obvious way, but the spacing between them, the angles, it had changed, subtly, quietly, as if they had shifted positions while he wasn't looking. Marcus felt a chill run down his spine. He turned in a slow circle. Every direction looked unfamiliar now. The path he came from was gone, completely, replaced by more trees, more silence, more of that same suffocating stillness. Okay, shh, he muttered under his breath. Not funny. No answer. Of course there wasn't. He started walking again, faster this time, picking a direction at random, anything to get out. But after a few minutes, he saw something that made him stop cold. The same tree, the one with the symbol, except now, the symbol was back, carved deeper than before. Marcus's chest tightened. No, he whispered. He backed away slowly, then turned and ran. Branches scraped against him as he pushed through the forest, his breath coming faster, louder, breaking the unnatural silence. But no matter how far he ran, the woods didn't change. And then, the sound came back, that soft shifting noise, closer this time, not behind him, around him. Marcus slowed, just enough to listen. And that's when he realized what it was. It wasn't footsteps. It wasn't something moving through the forest. It was the forest itself. The trees. They were moving. Not all at once. Not in a way the eye could easily catch. But slowly, deliberately, closing in. Marcus turned, heart pounding. And for the first time, he saw it happen. A tree, just a few feet away, tilted slightly, its trunk bending just enough to change its position. Blocking the path beside it, another shifted behind him, then another. Each movement small, quiet, but purposeful. The space around him grew tighter, the gaps between the trees narrowing. Marcus stumbled back, panic rising in his chest. "Stop!" he shouted. The word felt wrong the moment it left his mouth. Too loud, too sharp. The forest didn't react. It just kept moving, slowly, patiently, like it had all the time in the world. Marcus turned in a circle, searching for any way out. But the trees had already formed a ring around him, tall, silent, watching. The carvings began to appear again, one by one, on every trunk surrounding him, fresh, deep, identical. Marcus stared at them, his breathing uneven, and then he understood. They weren't random. They weren't symbols. They were tallies, marks, counting something, or someone. A branch creaked above him. He looked up. The canopy shifted slightly, just enough for a thin beam of light to break through. And in that moment, he saw them. Shapes, faces, faint, stretched forms embedded within the bark of the trees, dozens of them, frozen, silent, watching. Marcus took a step back, and the trees moved closer, just a little, enough to erase that step completely. The forest had him now, and it wasn't letting go. They say if you ever find yourself in Hollow Creek Woods and the sounds around you suddenly disappear, you need to leave immediately. Don't stop. Don't look at the trees. And whatever you do, don't touch the markings, because once the forest starts counting you, it doesn't stop until you're part of it.
Thank you for watching. For more stories like this, like and subscribe.